A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. I seek refuge with Allah Almighty from Satan, the rejected one. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. By the name of Allah, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wasallam. Inshallah, today we will study 31st ruku of Surah Al-Baqarah. However, first of all, let's review what we studied in the previous ruku. The first thing, the spouses within waiting period of their divorce shall not be hindered to reunite. Secondly, in case of a child, it's forbidden to hurt the mother or the father by using child as a leverage. Third, a child suckling is for 2 years. During this period, provisions and clothings of the divorced mother is the responsibility of the father. The last point was that in case of the death of husband, the waiting period or the idda for that widow is 4 months, 10 days. Let's start our today's session by praying from Allah Almighty to give us true understanding of the Holy Quran by the grace of Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Surah Al-Baqarah, Ruku number 31, and that is from verses 236 to 242. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. La junah alaykum in talaqtumun nisa. No blame upon you if you divorce women. Malam tamassuhunna aw takridu lahunna fariza, whom you have not touched or you specified for them an obligation. Wamatteuhunna, and give them endowment. Alal muse qadaruhu walal muqtere qadaruhu. Upon wealthy according to his means, and upon poor according to his capacity. Mata'am bil maruf, haqqan alal muhsinin, a provision in a fair manner, and onus upon good doers. The first underlined word, tamassuhunna, you consummated. Fariza, made commitment, we will call dower. Al-Muse, affluent. Muqtere, deprived or poor. In case a husband has divorced his wife while he has not established spousal relationship, nor he has specified any obligation for her, she shall be given some endowment. Now, payment of this benefaction is according to the capacity of the husband, and this shall be done in a respectable and dignified manner. However, it's a duty upon the good doers. Surah Al-Ahzab, that is chapter 33, verse 49, also highlights this point. O you who have believed, when you marry believing women and then divorce them before you have touched them, then there is not for you any waiting period to count concerning them. So give them present and release them in a gracious manner. وَإِن طَلَّقْتُمُوهُنَّ مِن قَبْلِ أَن تَمَسُّوهُنَّ, and if you divorce them before you have touched them, وَقَدْ فَرَضْتُمْ لَهُنَّ فَرِيضَةً فَنِصْفُ مَا فَرَضْتُمْ, while you have specified for them an obligation, then half of what you specified. إِلَّا أَن يَعْفُونَ أَوْ يَعْفُوَ الَّذِي بِيَدِهِ عُقْدَةُ النِّكَاحِ, unless they forego or foregoes the one in whose hand is the knot of marriage. The only underlying word, yafun, they give up. However, if you divorce them before consummation, but a dower has been specified for them, in that case, half of the specified dower shall be given to them unless they forego or the one in whose hand is the marriage tie foregoes his part. Wantafu akrabu littaqwa, and that you forego is near to righteousness. وَلَا تَنْسَوُا الْفَضْلَ بَيْنَكُمْ, and don't forget graciousness amongst you. إِنَّ اللَّهَ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ بَصِيرٌ. Indeed, Allah Almighty of what you do is seeing. Akrabu, more closer, nearby. The second underlined word, tanso, disremember. Al-fazl, kindness, availability. Now the remission or foregoing one's part is nearer to the righteousness. Therefore, don't forget kindness amongst yourself, and remember that Allah Almighty is seeing whatever you are doing. Hafizu ala salate wa salat al-wusta. Be guardian of your prayers and of the midmost prayer. Waqumu lillahi qanitin, and stand up for Allah in a devout. The first underlined word, hafizu, protect. Al-wusta, central, principal, focal point. Kumu, stand up. Qanitin, fervently, sincerely, submissively. Now prayers include all the body movements which are carried out during the routine life. That's to say, standing, sitting, bending, bowing, prostrating, etc. And all of these movements are done for Allah. We can say that by praying, we rehearse to carry out all of our actions in accordance with pleasure of Allah. The real purpose of Salah is to develop mental focus, association, and connection with Allah Almighty. Therefore, one must strive to strengthen this bond by ensuring regularity and sincerity. Establishment of this connection and association is the central idea of this activity. However, the key to success is to be subservient to Allah Almighty. Therefore, whenever you stand up for Allah, that has to be with the devoutly obedient frame of mind. When khiftum farijalan or rukbana, and if you fear, so on foot or riding, faiza amintum fazkurullah kama allamakum. When you are secure, then remember Allah as He has taught you. Malam takunu talamu, what you are not knowing. The first underlined word, farijalan, so on foot. Rukbanan, equestrian or horsey, or mounted on something. Now, guidelines for offering prayer during travel and war or in danger have been mentioned in Surah An-Nisa, that is chapter 4, verse 101 to 103. And when you go forth in the land, there is no blame upon you to curtail the prayer, if you fear that disbelievers may disrupt you. Indeed, the disbelievers are an open enemy to you. And when you are among them and lead them in prayer, let a group of them stand with you and let them carry their arms. And when they have prostrated, let them be behind you and have the other group come forward, which has not prayed, and let them pray with you. Those who disbelieve wish that you would neglect your weapons and your baggage, so they could come down upon you in one attack. But there is no blame upon you if you are troubled by rain or you are ill for putting down your arms. But take precautions. Indeed, Allah has prepared for the disbelievers a humiliating punishment. And when you have completed the prayer, remember Allah, standing sitting or on your sides. But when you have become secure, re-establish salah. Indeed, salah has been prescribed upon the believers at stated times. This verse highlights the remembrance of Allah under all circumstances and all situations. وَالَّذِينَ يُتَوَفَّوْنَ مِنْكُمْ وَيَذَرُونَ أَزْوَاجًا, and those who are taken in death amongst you and leave behind spouses. وَصِيَّةً لِأَزْوَاجِهِمْ مَتَاعًا إِلَى الْحَوْلِ غَيْرَ إِخْرَاجٍ, a bequest for their spouses about provision for 1 year without driving out. Matan, the first underlined word, benefit, assistance. Al-Hawl, 1 year. Ghaira ikhraj, without being expelled. Now, in case of those of you who are about to die and leave behind them wives, they should bequeath for their wives provisions and residence for 1 year. The verse continues, when kharajna fala junaha alaykum, and if they leave, then no blame upon you. Fima falna fi anfusihinna mim maruf, in what they do with themselves in a fair manner. Wallahu azizun hakim, and Allah is almighty, the wise. However, if the widows leave at their own accord, there is no blame upon you for what they do for themselves while remaining within their rights in a dignified manner. وَلِلْمُطَلَّقَاتِ مَتَاعٌ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, and for divorced women, a provision in a fair manner. حَقًّا عَلَى الْمُتَّقِينَ, bonus upon the righteous. Now, another type of separation between husband and wife is due to divorce. In this case also, divorced women shall be given provisions in a dignified and well-known manner. And this is a duty upon those who ward off evil and promote righteousness. Surah Talaq, that is chapter 65, verse 6 and 7, further elaborate this point. Let the women live during their waiting period in the same style as you live, according to your means. Annoy them not, so as to restrict them. And if they are pregnant, then spend on them until they give birth. And if they suckle for you, give them their recompense. And take mutual counsel together, according to what is just and reasonable. And if you find yourselves in difficulties, let another woman suckle the child on father's behalf. Let the man of means spend according to his means, and the man whose resources are restricted, let him spend according to what Allah has given him. Allah puts no burden on any person beyond what he has been given. After difficulty, Allah will soon grant relief. كَذَلِكَ يُبَيِّنُ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ آيَاتِهِ. Thus, Allah makes clear for you His signs, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ, so that you may use your intellect. Now that's how Allah Almighty makes clear His signs and explains His revelation. It's a great blessing of Allah Almighty that in all those cases in which human intellect cannot make decisions based upon justice and equality, He has given His instructions and guidelines, and He elaborated them for easy comprehension so that they can be acted upon easily. A brief summary of the ruku we have just concluded. In case of divorced wives, where no matrimonial relationship has been established or any obligation for them has been specified, they be given some endowment in a dignified manner. However, if divorce takes place before consummation but a dower has been specified, half be given to the ladies lest they forego, or the one in whose hand is marriage tie foregoes his part. Salah needs be guarded, as it is the salah by which we can develop mental focus, association, and connection with Allah Almighty. Regularity and humbleness are key to success. In case of those men who are about to die and leaving behind wives, they should bequeath for them provisions and residence for 1 year. Divorced women shall be given provisions in a dignified manner, and this is a duty upon relatives. In all the cases where human intellect cannot make just decisions, Allah Almighty decrees His commands for the establishment of a peaceful society. May Allah Almighty grant us true understanding of the Holy Quran, and may we act upon it according to the life pattern of Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam. Sadaqallahu al-aliyyul azim. Sallallahu ta'ala ala habibihi Muhammadin wa alihi wasallam.